The main thing with the burnout is get the nervous system under control by any means necessary.
You said that you had some personal struggles with your own health as a child. Can you share a little bit about that? This is education for your employees.
I was playing around with beauty shows. It went from aesthetics. The unhealthy body and the healthy body don't think the same. Like, they never, ever meet.
Welcome to Behind the Business, candid conversations with entrepreneurs with me, your host, Mark Leray. Join me as I dive deep into the journeys of business owners, uncovering the struggles and triumphs in casual, candid conversations. Tune in for inspiring stories and valuable insights to fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Let's do this.
Well, hello, Ingrid. It is a pleasure to have you. I'm so excited about what we're going to be talking about today and how you're going to inspire and motivate our listeners. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So I help individuals mainly take control of their health. We start there. When I think of that, I think of how to empower ourselves when we sit with our doctors or with our health practitioners. And the key thing is to understand that you are you're in the driver's seat of where you want your health to end up. So take control of your diabetes or take control of your high blood pressure. In my situation, my health issues started at a very young age. And so I have to tell you, for years and years, I really was looking for the magic pill. I wanted the doctors to fix me. I wanted health practitioners to fix me. Just give me that pill. And it took a long time for me to believe in my own healing. And really, that's what I focus on now. It's just helping individuals to realize you can be instrumental in taking back control of your health and then utilizing someone like myself to help you get there, to help you get to that optimal health that you're looking for. So
awesome. And how long have you been doing this, Ingrid?
It's been over 20 something years. My son is 21. I started before he was born, so it's been a few years. I didn't start out in alternative medicine like formally. I started in the beauty industry. I transitioned over into doing like kind of like in between. I was playing around with beauty shows but really it went from aesthetics, beauty, and then it went to health, and then it went into deeper disease, patients with cancer, terminal illness. I went through my own little journey of where did I want to end up. And so finally I landed on working with clients who were somewhat healthy and not in the long-term care facilities.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. See. And why did you want to get into business for yourself?
I stumbled into that. My dad was always my dad was an entrepreneur, plus he worked. So that was always in front of my face. He was always, pursuing not various businesses. He had his business as a mechanic, but he made it very accessible. So he used to put these images on the fridge. He's like, okay, now we're going to go. It was 5 of us in terms of 5 kids. And he would put an image on the fridge and he would be like, this is what we're going after. So if it was a new car, and he would work towards it, and then he would put another image on the fridge, would, get a home. And literally I started to associate the entrepreneurship journey with basically have no limits, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you want, you put it in front of you. And he also preached that a lot. So, and his uncle was an entrepreneur in Trinidad. So he introduced him to business, and then he kind of just passed it on through osmosis, because he really wasn't telling us to become entrepreneurs. We just saw, and so a few of us are entrepreneurs in my family.
That's nice. They say children live what they learn. We are that example as parents. I actually like that idea. So you said he put that goal. So if he's buying a car, he put that on the fridge. And once that goal came, that came off the fridge, and then another goal went on to the that's actually different. Never heard like that before.
Exactly. And now when I'm sharing it with you, I guess that was my first introduction to a vision board.
On the fridge.
and manifestation and all the things that I got introduced to later on.
Yeah.
But he was very adamant. We're all focused on that, and so.
Yeah. And I like the fact that it sounds like all of you as children, you were a part of the goal. It wasn't just a goal that he had and, something that he wanted to achieve or accomplish, but all of you as a family were a part of that.
Yeah, he had it as, I'm not going to say we had no choice, but
yeah,
it was very much a group project.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
So I learned that, again, as we're talking, I haven't reflected on this in years. So
yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing, these little lessons that we learn along the way, the things that we probably take for granted or didn't realize was a big deal. It actually, the seeds that are sown into our lives that helps to shape who we are and who we become, right?
Yeah, yes. And I have to say I do practice that still. So I don't have an official vision board, but I have things on my fridge.
Yeah. There's all kinds of ways to set goals, whether it's a vision board, whether it's writing down, whether it's being in an accountability program like what we have. And I should just let listeners know that Ingrid is a member of our Shoestring Budget Club, group of business owners that get together. If you want to be a part of that club, I'll set the link in this chat, but it's about collaborating to grow our business. And no, that's awesome. So yeah, there's so many different ways that you can allow your goals to manifest, come forward. You got to have a vision. You got to have a goal. And I like that. Yeah, I like that. I guess I'm kind of sitting as a father myself, just like, wow, everybody was a part of his goal, and it was a part of that process. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that's how eventually entrepreneurship became part of a desire to because I don't know why it was so necessary. Honestly, my honest opinion as I look back on it is, yes, I was an employee. I've worked for years as an employee, but becoming an entrepreneur was just this goal that it's like, I need to become that.
You got to do that. Yeah.
So,
So you help individuals to take control of their health. Tell us how you do that.
Well, I do it through my coaching programs. I do it through my book that I've written. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I do it through workshops and recently revamped some of my talks. So now I'm back out there talking about it. But long story short, the key thing is really helping an individual to identify what's the issue, what are they struggling with, and then helping them to find the strategies that will help them to get to that point of healing, but also to help them with the strategies as to why they don't believe in their healing. Because I find that's one of the most challenging things, is that a lot of people don't believe that they can overcome the problem that they're struggling with. And I actually do mention that even in my book, I talk about the fact that we have to have, or I wouldn't say that, as I'll rephrase it. What I found is that majority of my clients that believed in their outcome, a healthy outcome, and things really turning around for them, they were the most successful in recovery. Right. And the ones that struggled with the belief, they had a much more difficult journey to getting to that place of becoming healthy. Right?
So when you say belief, you mean so this could be someone with a terminal illness and they don't believe that they're going to get better. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's the extreme, because what happens is a lot of times the doctors will give there's no more, you have 3 weeks. I don't know, like something like that, right? Devastating news. But it can go from that extreme where you take it in and you really believe, I guess this is the end. That's it. Some people hear that same news and they say, no, this is not the end. I'm not ready. This is not going to, and it's not a delusion aspect of it. It's just reaching towards a more optimistic outcome or a viewpoint before deciding what do you do next. So first the belief before you take action, right? So if we, bring it back to what I said, now I'm working with more healthy clients. So simple things like weight management, struggling with sleep, having issues with consistent eating. It's the fact that they need to see themselves in the version of a healthy body in order for them to be motivated to do the small things, right? Make sure that you're more intentional with your grocery shopping. So I found that the belief was instrumental for things happening faster, for healing to happen faster. Every aspect of where this individual wanted the outcome to be for them, right? It was easier, right? So the belief I found almost was like the vehicle. It was the glue. It was the motivator. It was,
yeah.
Yeah.
So at what point does someone come to see you? When they've gone to their doctor and they get some results, a particular result about a particular, their weight or whatever it is? Or is it sort of like someone that is just, you mentioned weight, that's why I'm using that as an example. So someone that says, you know what, like the new year is coming up now. At the time of this podcast recording, we are in, what are we in, November? So a lot of people are thinking about 2025 and the new year, that whole New Year's resolution sets in. And so is that when someone will come to you, like they're starting to think about what they want to do? I want to lose X amount of pounds for next year. When does someone come to see you?
Good question. Well, it depends. Sometimes it is a medical reason, like the metabolism is not functioning properly. And so I usually focus on detoxing in that moment. So lymph systems, poor circulation issues, if that's what they were told by their doctor, rheumatoid arthritis or arthritis type issues, they would come to me. From the standpoint of, again, focusing on weight, maybe it's the fact that they're just having issues with digestive issues, or I had a client sharing with me that, she's doing the fasting, she's monitoring what she's eating, but yet she's still holding a lot of weight. So then she would come to me, or she came to me in that moment to say, what else can I do? What can I do differently? So it can be something that they're coming directly from their doctor or their naturopath or their homeopath, or just someone that they're talking to when it comes to their health, and they'll come and find me because I am a holistic practitioner. I just have a different viewpoint. And so they're looking for another perspective. And so that's sometimes how they find me. This is what, my doctor or my naturopath said, but what would your take be on this? This is what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Right?
So our audience is for business owners. And the very common thing in entrepreneurship, and you can relate to this, I'm sure, being an entrepreneur yourself, is burnout, right? Yes. We wear many hats. Sometimes it's hard to stop, right? Yes. Especially when there's no, proper structure or system in place. So do you, or have you worked with individuals, specifically business owners that deal with burnout, and how?
So I have, but I'm gonna say my overarching theme that I tend to share with everyone is, when you are in burnout or crisis, the main thing is to get your nervous system under control. So the first thing we look at is how to get your nervous system back under control. And sometimes I have recommended for clients to take like something homeopathic, even if some clients are more aligned with, over the counter. So when I talk about that as something that we look at supplements, what can they take that's going to help them to get their nervous system back in some type of calm, right? So could be, B12 vitamins, it could be aloe vera juice, it could be so it's not something really major that they have to go, it's like, climb Mount Everest and, it's the key thing first is get your nervous system back under control. What I tend to practice myself is at the end of the day, it started out really silly years ago, a simple thing, but it's massaging my feet before I go to bed.
Your feet?
My feet, yeah.
Tell us why.
So as a reflexologist, that's behind the scenes, it's that our feet have 7,000 nerve endings. So it's one of the best places to access our nervous system. Our rest and repair part of our nervous system is the key thing that we're looking for in terms of with burnout. If that's not so comfortable, okay, then we're going to access our hands in terms of nerve endings, right?
Okay.
So we can use the body as its own tool to start to calm the nervous system. So massaging the feet, massaging the hands. But the main thing with the burnout is get the nervous system under control by any means necessary, whatever that is. Stop. I know some people, I don't do so much anymore myself, but some people take a nap. They will pause, like whatever you have to do.
Yes.
That's managing the body. So hands and feet, you can massage. You give the body an opportunity to regroup. Then you take something internal, such as something homeopathic. Aloe vera juice has a lot of B vitamins, which is great for the nervous system in terms of real aloe vera juice, not the one in the grocery store. And so you have to start there. It has to be rest and repair.
Yeah.
And it can be just micro dosing kind of thing. I say that in the sense of small pauses in order to start to manage the burnout.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Be intentional.
Be intentional. Be clear about what you're going to do, what you're going to stop and do for yourself in order to manage the issue of the burnout.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I've heard about the feet, the nerve endings, and our feet, but hands. So you said, is there a certain way? Can you demonstrate? Is there a certain process, certain way to massage your hands?
So with the hands, so middle of the hand is a really good place. That's solar plexus. It's right in the middle of the diaphragm from a reflexology standpoint. So pressing on that helps to open the diaphragm, because we tend with burnout to do a lot of shallow breathing. So this will help to open the diaphragm.
So you literally just press the center of your
pressing, hand. Yeah.
All right. So if you're watching this right now, this is a good time for you to do that. That's perfect. Take a minute and do it.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
The top of the hand here is our lymph system. So another aspect of getting to the rest and repair is to get the circulation moving, because things are stagnant. Things are not happening.
Yeah.
So from the wrist to here is lymph system.
Yeah.
Right. And then the last zone is the pinky finger. Yeah. This is all about nervous system in terms of reflexology.
Okay.
Right.
So you just pull on it.
I used to teach this. No, you do press.
Oh, okay.
So press.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. Because you got to activate it.
Yeah.
Right. If let's say you're having like a lot of overwhelm, the nails or the fingertips, that's the brain or the tip of the finger.
Oh,
so that's another place you can press.
Just press.
Or just press on the fingertip itself.
Okay.
And that just helps with getting the brain relaxed or get some clarity, get rid of that fog, the brain fog.
Really? So that brain fog, you can literally do that?
Yes.
That will help?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I used to teach this at with the Y for the frontline workers. Yeah.
Oh, so that's amazing.
How we can, the easy access of our hands can now become the tool of healing for the body.
Interesting. And would it be the same for the feet? So you said press the center of your palm. It would be the center of the feet.
The center of the feet. What I love about the feet or the foot is that you can't go wrong. It's thousands of nerve endings. So what I tend to say is just massage the sole of the feet massage the top of your feet.
Okay.
Right. And
interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is something you recommend to do daily?
Again, entrepreneurs, I would say do it daily.
Yeah.
That's why it's, we can give ourselves a minute.
Yeah.
A minute of a massage, either the hands or the feet.
Yeah.
We can give ourselves that. That helps to feed our nervous system. And you keep going. Right?
Yeah.
The key thing is keep the nervous system out of crisis. When it's in crisis, it doesn't recover properly in terms of digesting our food, feeding the cells with nutrients that we need. We don't get a chance to really recover in terms of the brain when we sleep. So it interferes with a lot of the organs and functions of the body. That's why I like that. Anyone who's, if someone has said, I've been in pain for 2 or 3 days, so back pain, neck pain, because we're at the computer, right?
Yes.
Your body is in so much crisis from that pain, so it is not functioning optimally in terms of the nutrients that we need, the gas of the food that we're ingesting. If we're in pain, so you have to stop. It's not about the food, because your body's just taking it in and flushing it back out. It's not functioning. So you want to get the nervous system under control. Right? And then you go from there. Whatever it takes, get it under control.
That's powerful. I'm hearing you, and what I'm hearing is it's the little things that does a lot.
Yes.
A lot of times we think, okay, I got to get to the gym. I don't have the time to go to the gym. I have to go for walks. I mean, all that is important and should be done, but they're literally saying like these little things. I mean, you're sitting even on a phone call or a video call, you can literally just squeeze your fingers. Like right now, I'm doing it right now as I'm talking to you.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, like that requires no time. I don't have to schedule it. Right now, I'm helping my brain fog at the moment, or whatever it is that I'm doing right now as I speak. Wow, that's powerful.
Like you just reminded me. So something so simple. So as we're doing this, we're also releasing hormones. So a way to, again, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and to just get the endorphins going. It's like to really put yourself in a good posture, roll the shoulders back and down. That starts to get first of all, you're going to be breathing deeper, but it also gets you in a they call it at least a mini power posture. And so that's going to start to help with dopamine and endorphins, and just the simple thing of just sitting up, whether you're on a phone call or you're doing your work, you sit up, roll the shoulders back and down. And I call it the process of releasing the happy hormones. Because you just can't feel down and dragged out when you're sitting up, and chin is up a little bit. Right. So that starts to get blood flow. That's another little tip.
Yeah, interesting.
All to feed the nervous system, right?
Yeah.
You've got to keep that nervous system under control.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, this is really good stuff. I'm hoping the listeners, you're taking this in and you're actually doing it as we speak. Yeah. Like you got me sitting up, and it's these little things that really does a lot, and it's really important, because I often say this: if you're not good to yourself and for yourself, you can't be to your customers or your employees.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So that's really important. It is a domino effect. It does trickle down. I have experienced burnout myself. I even experienced in the beginning of 2005, 2006, I had a minor stroke, and that's when I had my window cleaning business. And business was going well, but I was overworked. And of course, a part of that was, not enough rest and sleep, just constantly on the go. And then part of it was obviously not proper structure. I didn't understand at that time how to structure business in a way that it was working. I was working on it rather than in it. But combination of that and some of the things that you just shared right now, that it's so easy. I'm still like baffled, like, wow, that's literally like there's nothing to do. I'm doing it again, actually, as I'm sitting here and pressing my fingers. There's nothing to it. That is so amazing, Ingrid. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. And so you said that you had some personal struggles with your own health from a child. You had to sort of empower yourself to get through that. Like, can you
Yes.
share a little bit about that?
Yes. So it started with my period actually, and it just it went on for weeks, like when I was 11, 12 years old. And so my parents took me to the doctor, and that was the beginning of just drama and specialists and experimentation. And so I started in that path of just like following wherever the adults were taking me and whatever they were saying to take. So I took it. When I was about maybe 15, I started to realize this is going to be the rest of my life. And so I had an aunt in New York who sent me some books on herbs, and she already knew that I always gravitated towards anything health related.
Yeah.
And
At that young age, eh?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so a little backstory. A little backstory. My grandmother was a shaman.
Okay.
And so when I was my awareness, I would say, 6, 7 years old, she told me that I have this gift, and she started to apprentice me. So I became an apprentice of the
Oh,
spiritual realm
yep.
from that young age. And so I was already mindful. So she was already teaching me about herbs and trees and health, and just between physical and the spiritual. So when I started to go through that issue for myself, unfortunately, because I was being experimented on, so many other things started to happen. So I started to have the side effects from the medications, and I started to really not enjoy being in my body physically. And because the pain was so debilitating, and I was um, just really unsure of what the future really looked like. And I just I couldn't believe how difficult it was just to live in my body. So what happened, 15, I got this book, Heal Thyself, and I started that process of looking at that. I had a book from my grandmother called Back to Eden. I started looking at that. And so I didn't stop going to the different doctors. I started to look into the health world and see all the, try the herbs. And so that took till like 18, 19, suffering all the way through high school, like suffering. And then eventually getting to a Korean doctor who introduced me to hydrotherapy. That was the first. And then I was introduced to homeopathy. And then I started to, go back and forth between the two different, the science and the alternative. But in the midst of it, I realized I didn't believe that anything was going to work. I was so despondent, I guess, because it started at such a young age, and it's taken up my entire teenage life. I'm now in my 20s. I'm like, okay, there's really no hope. And it kind of, it took the introduction of like metaphysical and, going to different seminars that had nothing to do with health, really. So it took a little bit of that journey for me to circle back around and start to look at the fact that I have a negative belief towards my health. So even though I'm doing the thing I'm supposed to do, or I'm following and I'm, doing the herbs, and I started to understand that my negative belief in my own process was my problem. Right?
Wow. So that's where that came from.
That's where that came from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's why it took a little bit longer to start to understand, well, what would the positive belief look like? Because I understood how the negative belief was playing out. It's like, I'm taking it, but it's like, so you're doing something and you're saying, I don't think it's going to work. In your background, or the back of your mind, subconsciously or consciously, you are negating the action that you're doing, right? Because you're like, it's not going to work. But to everyone else, you're like, yeah, I'm hoping it's going to work. But you actually don't have a belief that supports the action that you're taking.
Yeah.
Right. And so once I started to believe that it was going to work, then things started to actually work. Like it's, so fast forward to within the practice, because I didn't know I was going to become a holistic practitioner.
Yeah.
I was on my own journey. But circle back around to that. And so now, over the years, I started sharing with clients that an unhealthy body and a healthy body cannot coexist, because I lived the version of an unhealthy body and I lived the version of a healthy body.
That's deep. That's powerful.
Yeah. So I started to kind of work through that with clients, and that's, when they showed up in that unhealthy body, okay, what would the healthy body look like? The unhealthy body and the healthy body don't think the same. They have different thoughts. They have a different reality. They have a different story. They have a different identity. They have it's literally the AM and FM radio dial. Like they never ever meet. So if you practice the version of the unhealthy body, the burnout, all of that stuff, then you're going to continue to live that version. Yeah. If you choose to go the route of believing in the healthy body, then you're going to start to discover that you have different thoughts, different motivators, different actions, different, so, so it took me a while. So now I'm ready to teach people how to take back control of your health.
Yeah, that
of
is
your health.
Deep. That's deep. That's powerful. And, to our entrepreneurs that are listening, that's something, one of the things I teach our clients is your 3 E's for employee engagement is to educate, empower, and to encourage your employees. And so this is education for your employees. You want to have good employee engagement, educate them on this. That's powerful. Can you say that again for us, Ingrid?
The unhealthy body?
Yeah. Say that again. I love that. Yes. That's deep.
So the unhealthy body and the healthy body cannot coexist.
Yeah. Right. That's powerful. So, that's powerful. You definitely want to bring that into your place of business and share that with your employees, because your employees are the lifeline. Not just your customers are the lifeline of your business, but your employees, those that work for you and with you, they got to be healthy. So if you as the employer, the entrepreneur, the boss, the business owner, you're healthy, but you can download this information that you're getting from Ingrid today and share that with your staff. They now change their mindset.
Yes, yeah.
Overall,
because what's
company.
Motivating. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because what's motivating the behavior? Is it the unhealthy body? Is it the thoughts that align with that unhealthy body? Are they ready to have it more be along the lines of the healthy body, that they're motivated by a different thought process, a different outlook? But it's a really transformational. I've seen it with my clients that they can't even recognize the version of themselves when they were the unhealthy version. They don't. They can't even make sense of how they used to think that way, or So So
is this what you mean by keeping harmony? You mentioned harmony between your business and your personal relationships, kind of thing. I guess everything, there's harmony in everything.
Well,
there should be, at least.
I have to say harmony. I got into that in the over COVID. Since COVID, so before COVID, everything was balance. Okay, you gotta balance it. You gotta balance it. And because everything became so close with COVID, everybody was in each other's face and in each other's spaces.
Yeah.
I started to make sense of the importance of harmony. And what I mean by that is to be able to, because I'm an entrepreneur 24/7. It never turns off. To all the other entrepreneurs out there, you understand?
Yeah, we know what you mean.
Right? 7 days a week, 24/7. And so harmony of, for me personally, having the relationship at that moment My son was a little bit younger still, in high school, being able to manage my relationship and then being able to have this new version of my business, I started to understand that balance wasn't enough. Like there had to be a better navigating of quality between when I show up in my relationship, when I show up as a mom, when I show up as a practitioner for my clients, and when I show up for myself. And so the harmony was whatever I need to be able to show up in that way, I have to make sure I'm taking care of that first. So there's a saying that I use. It's called less is more, similar to what I just showed you. It's that the body, you don't have to have weights or you don't have to be at the gym. The body is already the tool. It's right in front of you. So when I think of less is more, it's and you used that word earlier, intentional. So when I'm having a conversation with my son or checking in with my partner, everything else has to fall off. Whereas before COVID, I would have the dialogue, I would be in front of the person, but I'm still thinking about business. I'm still like, what else?
Gotcha.
There's another, you know? So what I started to see was harmony is aligned with, or in order for you to have harmony between the relationship and your business, or business relationships and your personal relationships, it is the fact that you have to be intentional with the quality of who you show up as. So you have to show up actively listening, participating, being part of that conversation, whether it's the 20, 30, an hour conversation. Like sometimes I was having like a quick little check-in with my son, and then he starts on this other thing, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing now. So let me stop, take the time to really connect what's happening with him, connect emotionally. So harmony, like how are you flowing between the different parts of the things that are meaningful for you, your relationships, business, and, personal. So,
wow, that's deep. And is this is very, I love
We're going deep today.
Yeah, man, this is
Today's
deep.
a deep day.
It's a deep dive. No, this is awesome. This is really good information. So is this some of what you've written in your book? Because you have a book.
Yes, I do, Mark.
And to our listeners, that you can get this book, and she's going to tell us about it. So
let's see.
Talk about your book. Tell us about your book and where we can find it.
So my book is called Creating Sacred Space, A Journey to Self-Healing and Living the Life of Your Dreams. And you can get it on Amazon. You can find it on my website, wellness2go.ca. The key thing with my book is that I based it on what I believe to be the most important element of, navigating your life. And I mentioned coming from that place of a shaman. So my book focuses on intuition. It focuses on managing your stress through the use of tools that I've wrote about, but we lead with intuition, going back to the harmony, that sixth sense that a lot of my clients over the years, they were struggling to trust their gut feeling. They were struggling to trust the inner guidance. So my book talks about you working in tandem with your true self and making sure that you're able to police your thoughts, making sure that you're able to have that positive belief behind the action before you take it, understanding how you can have your SMART goals, but how that also, how to optimize your SMART goals by aligning it with the intuitive feelings that you have in the background, right? Not downplaying it, because again, where I'm coming from, what I've learned is that the intuitive gives you that edge, that extra little thing that's going to make you unique to your personal situation and align you with what you want. So
that's powerful. And you have a 5-day challenge that's coming up.
Yes.
Nice. Tell us about that.
Just showing a little picture of it. So it's the full name is...
Again, hold it up a little bit longer. so we can see. Yeah. All right. There you go.
Yeah. So the full name is Take Back Your Health 5-Day Challenge. So we're going to take back your health, whether it's, and I am keeping it very simple. 5 days, go live with me. We will decide at the beginning what it is that you want to focus on. So if you're struggling with sleep, if you're struggling with inconsistent eating, if you're struggling with, an exercise goal that you're trying to get to, whether it's to get to the gym or just to find yourself being able to exercise. But the main thing really with the Take Back Your Health 5-Day Challenge is to see how aligned you can become with empowering yourself when it comes to your health goals. Right. So really just, 5 days we work together. It's a free challenge, and to just, figure it out over the 5 days. Like, how come you're not accomplishing that goal? How come, like, what are the blocks? What's keeping you from taking action? Right.
Yeah. That's deep.
Yes.
Right. Good. So we'll share that in the description so you can grab her book. Go check her book out. Go and buy the book. It's on Amazon. There'll be a link here in the description for that. The 5-day challenge. People can access that. We'll have a link for that, right?
Yes, to register and come and work out. Or I can't say work out because we're going to be live. So
yeah.
But you might be working out with me depending on what I'm up to in that moment.
Yeah, just get involved, friends. Just get involved.
Yes.
Just reach out and get involved. Ingrid, tell people where they can find you. And are you on social media, your website? Tell us where we can find you.
You can find me at Wellness to Go. That's TOGO.ca. And also Instagram at Wellness to Go. Facebook, YouTube, I'm under Ingrid Herbert, and LinkedIn. So you can find me everywhere.
All right. She is everywhere. Yeah, this is awesome. And I hope you got a lot out of this. Lots of good nuggets. As business owners, we want to make sure we take time to look after ourselves, be intentional about it. And we got a lot of good tips and nuggets today, that things that don't even cost you any money. It doesn't cost you any money to press on your fingers and massage your hands and your feet. It doesn't cost you anything, but yet it does wonders. And believe it or not, I actually found myself doing it again while you were so thank you for that, Ingrid.
You're so welcome.
Yeah.
It pays back. It pays back.
That is awesome. I will have for you, the listeners, Ingrid's contact information in the links in the description, and also the link to her book so that you can go out and go get the book and jump into the 5-day challenge that she has coming up. Ingrid, this was wonderful. Thank you again. Was happy to have you.
My pleasure, Mark.
Yes.